It is often said that reality is stranger than fiction, and the recent events pertaining to FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried are an example of this. You know, it was recently revealed that Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas, and he actually went to court, and apparently he was denied bail. All right, according to reports, Sam Bankman-Fried made several pleas to be placed on house arrest. All right, he said that he couldn't go to jail because number one, he's vegan. All right, let's get this out in the clear. He's a vegan, so he can't go to jail. Right. Number two, Sam Bankman-Fried said that he can't go to jail because he is depressed. All right. And so apparently he thought that these two excuses were going to work, but Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt was not buying it. Okay, Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt was of the opinion that Sam Bankman-Fried was a flight risk. Okay, and the prosecutors argued this point. They said that, releasing him on bail is basically saying you're willing to let him go free. Okay. I guess it's not possible that he's going to allow himself, after being actually arraigned in court, after being charged in court with fraud, it's impossible for me to believe that he's going to stay in the Bahamas. Okay, U.S. authorities are alleging that SPF actually hid $300 million in a Brazilian fund prior to the collapse of FTX. Okay, and I believe that they will argue that this whole situation was foreseen and his actions were premeditated in terms of making an allowance for himself to have an escape, knowing full well that the investors and their capital was not safe. It was bound to collapse at any moment. Okay, and so at this moment, Sam Bankman-Fried is in Fox Hill Prison, and I just wanted to make some comments about what I'm seeing the press saying about Fox Hill Prison, and I want Bahamians to pay very close attention to what people are saying about our prison. One article in the Daily Mail said that SPF was being sent to an overcrowded hellhole, and I wish I could make a case that the prison isn't an overcrowded hellhole, but even locals consider it to be that. We might not use that dramatic language, but we definitely can agree that the prison is an overcrowded hellhole. But I believe most prisons have similar conditions, but I think people were emphasizing how terrible the prison was to make it seem like somehow, SBF was entering a situation that is beyond any other experience that Americans can have in prison, and it very well might be that, but I just feel, as a third world country, people tend to give these dramatic descriptions of our situation. I believe even Donald Trump said that countries in the Caribbean were a shithole, and so it really seems to me that some work needs to be done on our prison. But, the international media never fails to give these one-sided opinions about conditions in the Caribbean or conditions in the Bahamas. My thing is, if the prison is good enough for Bahamian, right? He is here as a resident. It's good enough for him. You know, I don't believe that allowing him to have house arrest would have been just. It would have been a slap in the face to all the locals, because here it is, our brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, and uncles who find themselves on the wrong side of the law have to go and be incarcerated in these places, or to actually be on remand in the prison. And anybody who comes here should find themselves under the same standard that we are under. Okay, and being a foreigner who spent a lot of money doesn't mean that you shouldn't face the same conditions that any other local would have. All right, and I don't believe any prison is like the Ritz-Carlton. No prison is like a hotel. It's incarceration. So no matter what you have inside of this place, it's gonna be, a holding cell, isolated away from your family, so on and so forth. But family, just wanted to touch on these few points. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below about all these dynamics. One love.